Hola, ¿cómo estás? Soy dickbutt. Y yo mierda en la leche de tu madre. I'll teach you that in Spanish class. I'm back. I know it's been a while since my last video. Life gets in the way sometimes. So let me break it down for you. I went to Comic-Con. It was awesome. I went to BB Wars Airsoftology. It was awesome. And I have a day job. Not so awesome. But, you know, those types of things get in the way. I promise I will try and get a more regular cadence going on these. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? I've been promising this for quite some time. To my right, I might be your left, right, east, west, this one, Echo 1 GAT. And my left hand, this one, RWA KG-9. This one's about $300 more expensive than this one. Which one is better? Let's talk about it now. I'm gonna start with the Echo 1 GAT because I feel like this is a little bit more of a common platform. So the first thing you're gonna notice about my Echo 1 GAT is I don't have the front hand grip. That thing drives me crazy. I don't know why. I know that on the actual Tech 9 or KG-9 that this is based off of, they actually did make a foregrip for it, but I didn't want a hand. This just, you know, This might date me a little bit, but I first saw this gun in Big Trouble in Little China, and I've been kind of obsessed with it ever since. So that's why I took the front grip off to do so. There's plenty of videos out there on how to do it. It's pretty easy. Disassembly to put the battery in is pretty simple. I actually set mine up in such a way that I can charge it through one of these holes right here, so I don't even have to take the battery out anymore. I wouldn't really recommend doing that. I'll be honest, I'm just being lazy. You should always take your batteries out after you're done playing. And to do so with this one, it's actually pretty easy. You just have to undo the screw here. This whole front piece slides off. I'm not gonna do it because, again, I'm lazy. Figure it out on your own, suckers. But it's really not that big of a deal. I have a 7.4 1000 milliamp battery in here. Let's start with the externals. This is a metal polymer combination. The mags are metal. I really like the finish on this. It's like a flat black color. The KG-9, I'll get into that a little bit later, but I'll hold them up side by side. I kind of like this finish actually a little bit better. I believe earlier versions of this did not have threads. My version came with threads. 14 millimeter negative is what this has. So you can put a silencer on it. The RWA KG-9 is set up a little bit better for that, but we'll get into that. The short answer is, yeah, you can put a flash hider or other extension on it. I wouldn't put a flash hider on this, but you get what I'm saying. You picking up when I put down? Gotta eat the pudding. Your hop up is located inside here. You just pull your charging handle back and you have a little lever right here that you can move around for your hop. Pretty straightforward, pretty standard stuff. Pretty easy to access, I dig that. I don't like the door as much on this. It's really thin, flimsy plastic. And also the charging handle is held with retention from a spring that runs all the way down the barrel. Why that could possibly be an issue is with battery space, because you obviously want to still be able to adjust your hop up once your battery is. So my battery is actually a butterfly style, and it's kind of cramped over to the right side here so that the spring can... Bam! The other thing I kind of dig about this is that now you've got some rail space on the bottom, so if you want to put a light or a laser on here, works out well for that. I'm going to show you some in-game footage real quick of me using both of these akimbo style. I have a sling for each. I look totally awesome. I don't think I got any kills, but I look totally awesome, and that's what matters. But you won't see any zoom cam stuff because it didn't turn out. So the other big bonus with this gun, semi-auto. Now, I know that RWA's version, the KG-9, is based off of a full auto submachine gun pistol. However, in the real world, I don't know any fields in Southern California that are gonna let me go full auto in CQB like ever. That just never happens. It's very, very rare. So that kind of limits my usage to the gun to outdoors and also outdoor games that allow burst fire. So it's gonna kind of leave you high and dry in that regard. Just keep that in mind, that if you're looking for something really usable, that alone is gonna set this one a step ahead. So that kind of wraps it up for the Echo 1 GAT. It's 160 bucks. They do make one that's gold, which is super pimp. So if you want a GTA all day, per day, they got you covered. I think they have one that's in chrome as well, which is pretty cool. The final slight gripe I have is that it comes with 2 high cap mags. I'm not a big fan of high cap. It's personal preference. But on top of that, the mags do wobble pretty bad in the GAT. And if you're one-handing it, it can actually kind of throw you off a little bit. So what I did to remedy that was put a piece of the fuzzy side of Velcro inside the mag well. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see it or not. It's in here. Can you? It's right there. You can kind of see it. The problem with that though too, although I'm snug as a bug in a rug, it misfires. So I think I might have to go back and remove that out so that I don't have that misfeeding issue. Can you see that when you just Echo 1 GAT for 160 bucks? This thing is awesome. I mean, considering the fact that you're going to spend about 150 bucks on a pistol and having the ability to, you could really use this as a sidearm. So having a 100 round pistol is actually super handy. So let's take it on to the KG-9. Now, you may recognize this attachment that I have on the front of the KG-9. It is the Gat Ring. It's basically a rail adapter that sits on the barrel shroud. Now, I know on the real steel version that optics weren't really a thing. I think I've seen a few versions where there's an optic sitting kind of far to the back, but to me, it just, I don't know, it looked goofy. So it should be ready for sale soon. I know I've been saying that over and over again, but there's a slight problem with it still that needs to be tweaked before it's going to be ready for prime time. There's an inherent weakness in the top rail. I need to make it a little bit thicker on the bottom here because it snapped. When I had an optic on it, it was just sitting on the ground and I barely tapped it, and so got to get that fixed because I'm not going to recommend anything to you guys that's going to do that. That's garbage. So let's talk construction on this. Obviously, this gun is the KG-9, so it has the interdynamic trades on it. You might be able to make the trades out with all the gunky paint stuck in there. Thanks, SE Village. The other thing that's really cool is this was designed for the battery to be sit in the barrel shroud, so they extended it out a little bit, and it comes with a 7.4 LiPo ready to go, which is pretty cool. The other thing I really like about this one is your barrel end screws off, so you can put attachments on here. A silencer looks totally sick on this. It sits flush. It won't sit flush on the GAT, so just be forewarned, but it'll sit flush on here and it just looks so cool. And you actually just remove this ring to get to your battery space. The other thing that's weird, I know Tim, I think, talked about this in the Red Wolf video about the KG-9, but the charging bolt handle is super I don't get it. Considering this isn't even a functioning bolt, it just goes to nothing. I find it odd that this was just almost like an afterthought. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but your hop up is actually in here. What's cool about that, this is a Sistema style hop up and you get some crazy range with this gun. The downside is if you need to make adjustments, you gotta take your mag out. There's a little hex tool that came with it that you go and insert, twist it around until you get your hop where you want it. Then you can put your mag back in and take a couple test shots, see how the hop is doing. But of course, again, if you overhopped it, underhopped it, gotta take it back out. So it's kind of a pain. Once you get it set up, the hop up really holds its own, so it's not that big of a deal. Just be forewarned. This gun comes with two 90 round mid caps and they're great. There's a little, like you can hear it, just a tiny bit of wobble, but again, it's not gonna bother you at all. I can and it doesn't bother me. On the Echo 1 GAT, it's definitely more noticeable. Rate of fire on both these guns is pretty much similar in full auto. I didn't actually chrono it. I just kind of, but you'd be able to audibly hear if one was shooting much faster than the other. Again, finishes side by side, I kind of like the GAT a little more. See how it's a little more flat? This has got a little more sheen to it. Let me know in the comments below which finish you like better, or you can just sit there and not say anything. Well guys, that kind of wraps it up for my review. I will say, although I really like both of these, the Echo 1 GAT is a little more practical, and unless you're a hardcore interdynamic fan or 80s action movie fan as myself, you'd probably be more happy getting two of the Echo 1 GATs for less than the price of one of these and running akimbo like a crazy person in Die Hard. So without further ado, let's do some gameplay footage. Hope you guys enjoy.
All right. Welcome to the gameplay footage. This is at SE Village. I have both the RWA KG-9 and the Echo 1 GAT with me. The Echo 1 GAT is in my right hand and the KG-9 is in my left. And here I'm shooting at I don't know what. So I come across a couple guys sword fighting and I totally nailed that guy and he did not call his hits. And that annoys me. Here's the thing, guys. Have your sword fights after the game, because when the game is on and I'm on the field, I'm going to shoot you, and you better call your damn hits. Got it? So I was rolling that day with my squad mate J-Turd, and we are trying to kind of flank and push our way around the edge of the map. I believe this is not an objective-based game, it's just force on force, so we're just looking to get a good position and get some people dead. So as we make our way into this building, our fearless leader here, Jerd the Turd, decides to cut through the building. There's already some of the other teammates in here, so we're just looking to get a better shot on a guy who's kind of across in another building. I'm pretty sure he's not calling some hits. I think J-Turd hit him. The one thing too to keep in mind about these guns is even on their best days, you're not going to have the same range as somebody with a full-length gun. Sometimes you got to get a little bit closer to get some of those shots, especially with the Echo 1 Gat. Although the range is impressive, you're still dealing with a pistol, so don't waste ammo if you're not in range. Like I did later in the map. You'll see that. You'll see that embarrassing moment towards the end. So the camera is mounted on the Echo 1 Gat, and it's got a weird springy sound. You can really hear it pretty clear when you're listening through the camera audio what it sounds like. It almost sounds like the gun is dry firing, and that's kind of my only gripe with the Echo 1 Gat, is that you sometimes don't even realize you're out of ammo because it feels pretty much similar between dry firing and firing. So we got a sniper here doing some real work. I'm just behind him taking pot shots, trying to just, lay down cover fire. And then this gentleman on my team's like, yo, shoot them both at once. And I'm like, oh, don't mind if I do. Isn't that fun? I don't think I'm definitely not hitting anything there, but it felt cool, right? So I did it. And this is the end of me.
All right, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the shooting footage. Let me know in the comments below which one you like, if you've had a chance to fire both, and your thoughts. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. Damn! Until next time, look both ways before you cross the street. Shake what your mama gave you. Call your hits. Seriously, call your hits. I'm sick of this crap. Call them. And have fun, because it's just a game. Dick butt out.